Hi guys, so today's video is going to be a storytime video, and this storytime video is about the time that I was in a cult. So if you guys haven't seen any of my storytimes before, I think the last one I did was about 1 to 2 years ago, which is crazy because you guys seem to really like my storytime videos whenever I do them. I've done some meeting G-Eazy, I've done some when I went to BeautyCon, and then I did one of my dentists try to hit on me. So if you guys haven't checked them out, I'll have them linked down below, as well as include them in like a playlist. And so I've decided for the new year to start a new series called Sip and Tell. You know, there's show and tell where you show something and you tell it. Well, today we're gonna be sipping and telling a story to you. The wine that I have today is Rosatella Moscato. So if you are of a legal age, which means that if you are over 21, grab yourself some wine, a glass, get yourself comfortable. If you are under the age of 21, grab yourself some sparkling apple cider, some orange juice, whatever you need to feel comfortable. But grab yourself a glass of something and please just keep on watching. Okay guys, so this story happened, I want to say, when I was between the age of like 14 and 16. Story happened when I was in a program. So my mom put me and my sisters in this extracurricular enrichment program. So it was about basically she wanted to keep us out of trouble, so she put us in this program that was focused on school and like studying, and it was focused just on enriching your child. So like we would do college courses, and we actually got credit for them, which is really nice because I ended up transferring in a lot of credits from this program. But they had like dancing, they had art, they had music, you could do photography, so they had different like interests that you could do. And so it would happen throughout the school year on the weekends on Saturday, and then during the summer it would be like a 6-week program, and we would spend the night at a college. I personally, I love this program. I met one of my lifetime friends, Andrea, and we are like still friends to this day. So this story includes me, my friend Andrea, and my younger sister. One of the classes that I was in, it was with my professor, and I don't think he'll ever see this video, so I guess I can just say his name. But his name was Alexander, Professor Alexander. He was an English professor, and so we did like a lot of writing workshops with him. So I had my writing classes with him throughout the summer, and he was kind of, you know, like, he gives you the vibe of like being earthy, like very spiritually motivated. He was just very like calm and like very zen. Zen is the word I'll describe him as. So we talked to one of the co-directors of the program, and he kind of gave this incentive for students to participate in this like field trip, I guess you could say, type of day. And he described it as being a yoga class. He said that we would go to this place and we would do yoga and dance and stuff like that, and he would give anyone that went to it extra credit. And being me, you know, the teacher's pet that I am, I wanted to get as many points as possible, especially for him, because I kind of felt like sometimes he didn't like me, so I didn't know where I stood with him. So I wanted to get as many extra credit points as I could, just in case that grade, you know, wasn't where it needed to be at. So yeah, so he invited us to this like field trip extracurricular day. We would do yoga and dance, and he said that there would be a meal provided. For the most part, it was free besides transportation. I think my mom just had to give like $10 for each child. And so like we all thought this was gonna be a fun day. We got the yoga pants on, we're like ready to go, ready to get, you know, zen, and that's not what happened at all. So the first red flag was the area in which this event was going to be taking place. Now, being at a young age that I was, this area wasn't familiar to me, but my mom knew of the area, and growing up now, knowing where this place was, it should have been like an automatic red flag that this was about to not be what it was about to be, if that makes sense. This was literally about to be the complete opposite of what he said. This area that he took us to, it's a city where it's like a lot of like earthy, a lot of like, I don't want to say hobos, but like it was very just a lot of people just doing witsy things. There might have been witchcraft. It was just like a lot of people doing just a bunch of different things. It was very weird town. It was like a lot of arts, very like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was very just like culty, I guess you could say. Me being naive, I didn't know about it. My mom didn't really mention it. She probably just wanted to get us out of the house. I think it was a group of like 10 of us that actually ended up going, including me, Andrea, and my sister, my younger sister. And so we get to the place and we drive in this like bus that they give us for the camp. And we get there, and I think the event was from like 10 a.m. until like 2 in the afternoon or something like that, including lunch. So we get to this building, and it's not just us that's there. There's a few other people from local areas as well as the area where it's at, and then Mr. Alexander was there as well. And Mr. Alexander is a black guy, just so you guys know. So this was not expected. Like, we weren't expecting any of this to go down. You know, it started off being all cool. The lady that was in charge of the program, she had her son with her. He was very cute, and I think she kind of looked like she could be Ethiopian, or like, I don't know, she kind of looked like she could be, she played the part of what is, I want you to understand that what happened is just like out of control. She was there and she had a little son. I want to say he was like no older than 5 or 6, and she has us sit like in a circle. So we're in this like big wooden, like the way you can describe the scenery is like this big open, like it was kind of like a house, honestly, a house. And I felt like there was a lot of tenants that lived there. But it's like this big open like green room house, wooden floors, and like these big windows, and we all like sat in a circle. And the only reason why I'm even bringing this story up is because one of the guys that was there, I recently saw him, which made me think of this story all over again. Essentially, if you guys have ever seen the movie Wanderlust with Jennifer Aniston and Paul Rudd, I swear to you, this story is literally exactly what happened in that movie. I'm getting parched. Let me grab a sip real quick. So we're all sitting in the circle, and the lady, I forget what her name was, but I'm gonna call her Helena. She looked like she wasn't trying much effort, but at the same time she was putting in a lot of effort to like create this like persona about herself. So she had like curly, like floppy black hair. She wasn't black, but she looked like she could be either like Egyptian or like Ethiopian. Like, she looked something like that. I don't know how to describe her. I'll insert a picture of a celebrity that I think she looked like. She was there with her son, and she like started off telling us that she was all excited for us to be there. This is going to be a great experience for us. We're going to do a lot of Zen workshops, a lot of breathing, like all this like stuff. Her husband had died, and his name was Julius. She started this organization because of him. This presentation that we were going to be involved in was going to be as a tribute to him. You know, I didn't think too much of it when she said that. I thought she was just grieving still. She didn't really mention when she lost her husband. She just mentioned that she lost him. She tells us that the first workshop or first little activity we're going to do is go around and say our name, and then we're going to do like some type of movement to exhibit who we are. And like, as people started going there on the circle, I'm literally, if you guys know me, you know that any small thing makes me laugh. And so I'm trying to keep it together because the stuff that's going on in the circle is just weird. When people are just doing like random like dances and like twirls and stuff, and just like chants and like clapping, like everyone's just doing that. And so it gets to me and Andrea, my sister's turn, and I start off, I just walk out and then walk back in, and then Andrea walks out and walks back in, and then my sister walks out and walks back in. That was our little like movement or whatever. And then the circle just continues, and people are just doing a bunch of weird stuff. So after that, everyone is just like, okay, I guess this was a cool icebreaker or whatever. Then she is like telling us more about her husband, and she wants us to do some breathing exercises. So we start off doing these breathing exercises, and she's just like, all right, she's taking us through like breathing in and like breathing out. And I had done this before because the program that I was in, they had yoga experiences and classes before where they had us focus on our breathing. I didn't think anything of this, you guys. I thought this was like gonna be a normal yoga session. So we're all sitting in the circle where like we're just focused on breathing, our eyes are closed, and then all of a sudden she starts like screaming her husband's name. She's like, Julius! Julius! She starts screaming, Julius! And then she wants us to join in with her screaming Julius. And she's like, this is a tribute to Julius. We're chanting, we're celebrating him, we're celebrating his life. And so everyone in the circle that was not a part of like my program or wasn't visiting, they're all just chanting Julius. I swear to you guys, it was the weirdest thing ever, because if you guys don't know me, I believe in one person only, that's Jesus. I don't know who Julius was, but I was not about to partake in this activity. And you guys, as she was chanting, all of a sudden, there was a lady just starting to play the tambourine. Mr. Alexander looked like he was intoxicated. He looked like he was high or under the influence of something. He just looked off. So I'm literally just sitting there watching her. Like, I wasn't even laughing at this point. I was literally just looking at her like, bro, what is going on? So she does that little thing, and at this point, the co-director that came with us, she's looking at Mr. Alexander like, what is this that you got us into? Like, you said this is supposed to be yoga and it's not. There were no yoga mats. That should have been another red flag. No yoga mats at all. So after that, she senses that everybody's, you know, not really on that same vibe as she is. Okay guys, we're gonna take like a lunch right now. And by this point, we had been there for like an hour and a half. So she's like, we're gonna take a lunch. And they had cooked us lunch, guys. And they told us that we didn't need to bring anything. This is the red flag number 2. This is where it all just took a left-hand turn. You guys know how some people compost? I'm all for, you know, helping the environment, saving a tree, you know, not being wasteful, you know, getting rid of the plastic properly, recycling, whatever. She starts off by telling us what their whole like mission is in this like house that they live in. So like there's like a few tenants that live there, and they all pitch in to, you know, I don't know, create meals and stuff. But the thing that got me was the fact that she said the food was recycled. And I know some of you guys are like, Hannah, they just mean that it's compostable. No, they actually meant that they recycled the food that was not eaten and they made it out of something else. Okay, she's like bringing us on a tour at this point, and we walk into the kitchen and there's literally a bin that says dishes, a bin that says recycle food, and then there was like a small little bin that said trash. And I swear to you guys, there was so much food in that bin that said recycled food, and I literally lost my appetite. Like I couldn't bring myself to eat. The only thing that we ate was white rice, because for some reason it just looked like it wasn't recycled. At this point we didn't have cell phones, I don't think. So maybe I wasn't in 14 or 15. Maybe I was younger than this, because I didn't have a cell phone until like 6th grade, 7th grade. And it happened before this, I think. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We didn't have a cell phone to call our mom. If she knew what was going down, we would have got picked up. And at this point, all we ate was rice, and they had fruit. That was the safest thing we could have eaten, because when she said that the food was recycled and we saw like the containers, we put 2 and 2 together and we're just like, nah bro, like that ain't it. Long story short, we didn't eat for that meal. We ended up going off, like they let us like kind of just go off wherever we want. They were like, you guys can explore the village or whatever. She just kept calling it a village, but it was a house. They had like clothing lines, like they had like clothes hanging up. Like it really was just so weird. And I swear to you guys, I beg you guys to watch Wanderlust and then come back to me and tell me if what I'm describing to you is not the same thing that happened in the video. I'm ready to go. Like I'm not here for it anymore. We're trying to wrap this up. We still have like about 2 more hours left, and even like the co-director, the lady that was in charge of the program, of our program, she was just like, what is going on? I think she even pulled Mr. Alexander to the side at some point after lunch or whatever. I think we went back and did like more chanting or whatever. I think my director ended up saying like, we're gonna leave now, like she was gonna take us all and go. And the whole time I think the bus driver was also in on this, and I remember seeing him at one point there, but then eventually later on he was sitting in the van. We ended up leaving this event early because of all the stuff that we were partaking in. I don't even remember him being a teacher after this event, because he literally did not bring us to a yoga event. It was literally like his initiation into whatever he was a part of. I remember when we got to our mom and we were telling her about this, and she was literally just like, what is going on? Because like we grew up in the church and stuff like that, so like this whole experience was completely opposite for what she probably wanted us to be involved in. If you guys have ever been in an experience like this before, let me know in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed this video and you're excited about my sip and tell series, make sure you guys give this video a like. And if you guys are not subscribed yet, girl, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Message me. You guys can also hit me up on my Instagram. It's hannahxcole. And until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.